So for this assignment, my group members and I were supposed to add functionality to our existing simple lessons page. We have already attempted to add some functionality or interactive features in the last project, some using JavaScript code, by trying to make the slider interactive. However, there were many issues associated when it comes to making the slider interactive. First of all, we created 3 sliders and they were not functioning independently. And unfortunately, we haven't managed to fix that issue for this assignment as well. So there is still some room for improvement. So if let's say a user moves the first slider, it automatically moves the second and the third slider. However, we managed to get the locations right, so it is easier for the user to move to the point that they need, which is more is easier to navigate. And what else we changed is that we changed for the sliders, instead of having submit, we put check your answer. So this way, the the learner gets to see the correct answer, as opposed to submitting yours, because technically it's really hard to. It's not that it's hard, but we thought it would be better, and it gives a learner an opportunity to play around and verify their answers. So that's that with sliders. Another functionality we added was the actual responses to the questions at the practice problems. So how do we make it interactive? So for instance, for question 1, represent 3/5 on the slide. So the first part asks to represent it in fractions. So let's say I represent it as, I give the correct answer, represent fractions 3/5. I click submit. So on click, what happens is that if I respond correctly, which is 3/5, the answer, it gives an alert saying that I was correct, and the document turns green. Let's say the student gives a wrong answer, like let's say 5/7. When the student clicks submit, gives an alert, try again, and the page turns red. So it does for each one of these submit form type of questions. So the same thing applies here. So let's say question 3, represent as a decimal, so 0.50. And I specified, well, my group members and I specified to how many places they're supposed to round. So they could give an exact answer, and we give a placeholder how they're supposed to, the format into which they're supposed to type their answers. So it makes it easier for the user. Oh, so we managed to do the practice problems, that feature became interactive. Other features are interactive due to Bootstrap, obviously, because it includes JavaScript code. Um, when it comes to the search bar, we actually haven't managed to make it interactive, but that is because we this is the only existing page. Had it, let's say we created another page, it would have been, then there will be a point of making that feature interactive. So the button here, comments, it also redirects to an empty page. See, so for now, however, as the course progresses, we're gonna try to make it interactive. My group members and I will try to make it interactive. Overall, a lot of code my group members and I had to Google. We use Google to mostly to try to find solutions to certain problems. Unfortunately, as you can see, it is not perfect. Again, there is room for improvement, especially when it comes to the sliders. We even thought about adding radio buttons as sort of multiple choice questions, but then we thought that multiple choice is not the best way to assess student learning, so we stuck with the submit form. And I guess one thing you probably notice is that for submit form, if you, let's say, type in 3 or 5 or any answer, it doesn't save the answer. So it refreshes to it refreshes the page and your submissions are gone. Well, the user submissions are gone. And my group members and I thought that would be actually for the best, because rather than gaming the system, the learner or the student gets to actually learn. So rather than tweaking their responses just to see whether they'll get it right or not, they actually have to solve the problem, and only then they could learn the material. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you'll enjoy this website. Again, there was room for improvement and we're working on it. Thank you very much for your time.